A significant moment in the war in Ukraine. The German Defence Ministry has confirmed the first shipment of the Leopard 2 tanks has been sent to Ukraine. 18 cutting-edge battle tanks were delivered after Ukrainian crews were trained to use them. The tanks have been specifically designed to compete with the Russian T-90 battle tank and are considered to be easier to maintain and more fuel efficient than most other Western tanks. Well, let's get more with Irena from the BBC's Ukrainian service. And Irena, a really significant moment this, symbolically but also practically, because these are some of the weapons Ukraine has been urging and pleading for such a long while now, aren't they?
Absolutely, Matthew. Ukraine has been pleading for main battle tanks, Western main battle tanks, for months, saying that the weaponry provided by its Western allies until now allowed it not to lose the war, but weren't enough to win the battle, to liberate its territories. So let me remind you that the United Kingdom was the first country which promised Challenger tanks, 14 Challenger tanks, after Ramstein meeting of countries supplying weapons to Ukraine in January. But it was the delay by Germany to provide those Leopard tanks that prevented the so-called Armour tank coalition to start the process of sending those tanks to Ukraine. And we have to realize that Ukrainian authorities and Ukrainian partners will not reveal all the operation about those tanks because of the secrecy, military aims, military goals. But Leopard tanks delivery was confirmed by the German Defense Ministry, and then Portuguese Defense Ministry said that its own 3 Leopard tanks were handed over to Ukraine. But what we saw was Ukrainian Defense Minister Alexei Reznikov on board of Challenger 2 tanks, saying that it feels like Rolls-Royce of tanks.
You touched upon where I want to go, because we saw Rishi Sunak only a few moments ago there in Westminster underlining again the continued support from the West. But in terms of numbers of these sorts of tanks, what is in the pipeline, and also air defences, the other systems they've been again pleading for such a long time? Where are we on that?
Military strategists claim that tanks alone, in the numbers provided so far, will not be decisive in winning the war. You need combined armed forces, you need air defenses, you need armored personnel carriers to protect your troops that are called taxis to the front line. And of course you need main battle tanks in hundreds, not in dozens. The process is ongoing, and we heard a lot about planned Ukrainian counter-offensive this spring. I would imagine that the numbers supplied will allow Ukrainian armed forces to punch through Russian defenses and to launch offensive of their own. But it's up to military strategists and up to the generals on the ground to confirm that.
Just a final thought then on the spring offensive, because you talk about the plans from the Ukrainian side. We'd heard a lot about the potential plans from Russia. Where are we with Vladimir Putin's renewed push and the Ukrainians' ability to push back?
There is a stalemate on the front line. Bakhmut still stands. Bakhmut is still Ukrainian after 9 months battle. Russian attacks number in dozens daily. Ukraine holds, and Ukrainian defenses hold, and Ukraine stands. The front line hasn't shifted much, so we can say that there is a bit of a stalemate. Ukraine claimed that it needed advanced offensive weapons, and it needs modern jets to claim the skies and to be able to forward its offensive. And that's why Ukrainian military authorities have been asking for F-16s rather than MiG-99s provided by Eastern European countries.
Well, Irena, a significant moment today, so let's see what follows in the coming weeks. Thanks very much for taking us through all of that.